Alright, how's it going, YouTubers? Today I'm going to be painting a desert landscape. Saguaro cactus or cacti. Let's go for it. Hope you enjoy it, because I'm going to enjoy it. There we go. So through the abstraction that I do here with the palette knife, I like to include in there somehow, try to put it in there, some sort of realist feeling. Okay, so the information of what that would look like, but the subject, right? But what I'm really going after, as I mentioned in other of my videos, is the feeling, the emotion that I feel when I look at the desert landscape. Okay, so it's very much like that's why I'm so influenced by the impressionist painters like Van Gogh, like post-impressionists also like Van Gogh and Gauguin. And the original ones, like the first ones, I guess, like Monet and Renoir and Sisley, and then later Cézanne. There's a sort of a feeling, right? They started experimenting with. I know that they said they were playing with light, but many times they were playing with, in my opinion, they were playing with movement and the feeling, not just the light. And the post-impressionist painters certainly gave us that, right? They gave us more of the feeling. And then we had the conceptual artists after that it wasn't so much about necessarily just the feeling, but more of a conceptual approach. So I like all those artists a lot. And when I mean conceptual, I'm talking about like Matisse and Picasso and, you know, even the modern painter Wolf Kahn, the way he does his landscapes. I think they're very much a mixture of that, of what I'm talking about, of the feeling and the conceptual. And anyways, it doesn't mean. I don't think it means that much. I think it's just that these are artists that have tapped into that space where you can create with freedom. And this is what I'm trying to share with you. That space in which I paint with that freedom. I'm not restricted by, oh, this has to look this way. And if it doesn't look that way, you know, you have to beat yourself up and I don't know, you didn't practice your ABCs. And I'm not talking about, you shouldn't, right? Of course, that's the fundamentals, right? The color schemes and all of that. But there comes a point when you pass that and you have to start looking into your personal voice. And as I mentioned in other videos, I believe that your personal voice is a result of lots of practice, lots of digging in, lots of that push, that may not look like you're pushing, but you are. You're pushing the boundary more and more. Your boundary, right? It's not necessarily the boundary of the world, but it's your boundary. It's your vision. You're pushing it more and more. It's like in the case of portrait artist, what's his name? Chuck Close, right? He's not the first one to go from very hyper-realist portraits to very awesome abstractions, right? That's a great. I think that's a great example. Or Monet's last years in Giverny, his garden. That's another great example, I think. Or Picasso also moving from realism and jumping around to different. It's not so much that he was just experimenting for the sake, or maybe he was. I don't know. I think he was pushing the boundary, his personal boundary. It's a personal thing, and this is what I do when I paint. I'm pushing my personal boundary. It's not necessarily, oh, no one has done. There's many people that have done palette paintings like this, or abstract cactuses. I'm not trying to say that I'm doing something different. I'm trying to say that I'm pushing my personal boundary. My commitment to my paintings, to how I view the world, is what I continue to push. So that is what I'm after. I was asked why did I put fuchsia where something would normally look green one time, and of course I didn't have a intellectual response. So in one of my exhibits early on in my career as an artist, and I said, it felt right. It felt right. There's no real reason behind it. It just felt right. It felt like it wanted to be there. So there you have it. This is a desert landscape, alla Trujillo. I hope you enjoy it. This is so awesome that we're able to share our work online. Just a few years back. I'm not that old, but we didn't use video to share our progress as artists. We just kind of had a art visits. I mean, I still do studio visits, or, you know, but that was really the way you got to share your progress as an artist. People they would enjoy your paintings or the way you painted or whatever, would start creating studio visits, you know, with friends and family or whatever. This is awesome that I get to share this with you. So, hope you enjoyed it. Till next time.